This is my first morning alone in the van in a really long time since I usually travel with my girlfriend Tori, but I'm really happy about it. I love my alone time, and I especially love that it's raining today. I didn't know that it was going to rain today, so I actually planned to wake up early and work out, and I had all these ideas of a productive morning, but I'm actually really glad that it rained and I had to scratch all of my plans, and I slept in, and I am planning to have a much more slow morning. I feel like rain always calls me to slow down, be more intentional, be more present, and not always be rushing and hustling into the next thing, which I feel I have a tendency to do. So it's pretty late in the morning already. It's almost afternoon, honestly, but I opened up my journal. I got this new journal. It's called the Productivity Planner by Intelligent Change. I love their journals so much, but I got this journal because in this period of my life, I have a lot of little tasks that I'm noticing I'm forgetting about. In the past 4 years I've been living in this van, my life has been pretty simple. I just go where I want to go. I do what I want to do, honestly, and I edit these videos, but that's pretty self-explanatory, and there's not all these little tasks in my life. But right now I'm in this transitional period where I'm getting this van ready to sell, which means I have a lot of little tasks and small repairs I need to do on it, and then I also have to plan to list it. And I also bought another van. It's also a Ford Transit, but it's extended, high roof, and I plan to build that out. So I also have to keep that in mind and order parts for that, which I've already started to do, and begin planning that. So there's a lot of little tasks in my life. So this journal has been a lifesaver, and it's really pushed me to be more intentional with the tasks that I have each day. First on the schedule at 9:30 is to meditate and read a little bit. I feel like I always say this when I meditate in one of my videos, but I used to meditate a lot after I did my first Vipassana retreat, which is a 10-day retreat where you meditate 10 hours every day. I got really into it and it benefited me so much, but for whatever reason, it's been one of the hardest habits for me to keep up with on the road and just in general. And I feel like I'm always trying to come back to it and build consistency, but I have been doing it pretty consistently for the last week, and it's felt really good, even if it is just about 10 minutes. I feel like the mind can be a scary place for a lot of people, myself included, and so diving into that world and really focusing on that world can feel really intimidating, and that's why a lot of people don't love being alone, and that scares a lot of people, and that's why meditation is even scarier, and that's why when we are alone, we're on our phone and we're distracting ourselves from our thoughts. And I think there's a lot of power and there's a lot of value in doing the opposite of that and leaning into our thoughts and analyzing them and observing them and letting them be. So I've been really loving meditating lately, and I'm also reading this book called Think Like a Monk by one of my favorite people on the internet, Jay Shetty. In the chapter I'm reading right now, it's talking about negativity and how that can affect our bodies when we are too negative. And negative comes in so many different forms. Like there's judgment, there's complaining, there's criticizing. I don't notice myself judging other people in terms of like appearances or what they're doing with their lives, their jobs, how they live their life. But I do judge people for being negative, if that makes sense. Like if someone is in a conversation with me and the majority of what they're talking about is complaining, I maybe would actually leave that conversation and then complain about them complaining so much. It's just this ripple effect of negativity and complaining, and it's like I'm doing the exact same thing that I'm criticizing them of, even though I think there is a place for judgment and there's some sort of positive function for it, just in the sense that it allows us as a society to figure out what we deem appropriate and what behaviors we don't deem appropriate. But I think that a lot of times we go overboard with it and it no longer holds any value to us, and it actually just harms us and people around us. So I think it's a really good reminder for me that I can't control how other people act and behave or anything that happens to me, but I can control how I respond to it. I am getting really hungry. I wanted to work out before I ate, that way I didn't have to wait to digest the food, but it's still raining, so I figured I'm just gonna cook a meal. I'm getting a little hungry. So I'm gonna make a classic tofu scramble. You guys know I always make tofu scramble. It's just so easy. I'm gonna put in onion. I have squash and zucchini. And then of course I have the tofu, and I use turmeric to make it yellow and kind of resemble egg. Although it doesn't really taste like egg, which I don't mind. And then I'm going to put it in a tortilla and just have a little taco. Topped the tofu scramble off with avocado and Cholula. I'm addicted to Cholula. And it still hasn't stopped raining, but it's kind of a sprinkle. So I'm debating on working out in the rain if the rain isn't done when I finish eating this, which I doubt it will be. Again, it's kind of a sprinkle, so I feel like I might do it.
Crowded bar, corner booth. It's getting hard not to look at you, 'cause there you are across the room, a work of art that I'm gonna lose. I know that you want me for your story that you tell yourself. I know I look lonely and I sound crazy, but I'm doing well.
There are so many benefits to living in a van, but the one downside I can think of is that it is really hard to implement a routine. There's so many other variant factors about your life, like where you are and the weather and the people you're surrounded by. It can sometimes be really hard to have a regular workout routine. I'm actually really proud of myself because I've been on a really good routine recently and have been really keeping up with my priority of moving every day, whether that's a walk or like a workout or yoga or stretching. And I feel like holding myself accountable in a very small way. Like it doesn't have to be anything crazy where I'm running 7 miles or like do a crazy HIIT workout, but just holding myself accountable in a small way of this intention of moving every single day is really good for me. I love practicing handstands, but it's really hard when the ground isn't flat. So I'm trying to find the most flat spot on this mat, and I'm gonna play around a little more. Shoot!
I see the stars all floating, always glowing. Now the heart calls.
I recently got this bar, which I really am obsessed with, and it makes working out outside so much fun. I also really want a pull-up bar. In my next van, I'm totally adding a pull-up bar. I used to have like a hanging bar in this van, but it broke. My friend went on it and it just snapped because it was made out of wood. But I definitely want to have a pull-up bar in the next van because I love having different dynamic workouts and ways to move my body that I love. That's the only way that working out ever works for me, is if I truly love the type of workout I'm doing instead of doing it for this end objective of like how my body looks. So I really like this bar. I love weight workouts. I always have. It sits in the nape of your neck really nice, and it just feels really good, and it's so cute, and I love it, and I feel like it's making me really excited to work out. I think the other element of why it's sometimes hard to work out consistently in the van is that you don't have a consistent shower all the time. I mean, I have an outdoor shower, but you still try to conserve water, and so because of that, you're kind of counting down and rationing your showers and also your sweat. So I don't want to get too sweaty unless I'm ready to shower that day. But if it was one of my shower days, then I would do a more extensive workout and really take advantage of the shower, and then also I can heat my body up before the shower, because no matter how hot the shower is, there's always wind chill as well. Anyways, this kind of wraps up my morning routine. I'm going to finally, for the first time, change out of workout clothes today and into something a little more nice to start the day. Even though I'm just out here in nature, I find that it's really nice to change into clothes that make me feel like I'm ready to tackle the day. Don't judge me, guys, because I know this drawer is a wreck. It's jam-packed with clothes to a point where it's jamming, but I need to clean it. This is the outfit I chose. This jumper is from Free People and I am literally obsessed with it, and I've worn it like 4 times this week already, but I've really been loving jumpers recently. And then this top used to be white and then I steam cleaned it, and for whatever reason it turned gray. I'm not mad about it, but I am confused. Okay, I'm gonna change. Here's the fit. I love it so much and I love that it has big pockets. Now I think I'm gonna make some tea before I really start my afternoon. Every morning needs to have a drink of some sort. That's something I learned from my girlfriend. She wakes up and starts her day with coffee, and her day will not start until she has coffee. But let me see what tea I have. I know some of you guys may be wondering why I'm heating up water in a pan instead of a pot. I used to have a collapsible kettle, which I really liked, but I don't know where it is. I'm kind of in the middle of moving out of this van, and then I have my next van, and so everything's in storage boxes, and it's just been really easy to lose things. I've decided to drink chamomile tea just because it's been a really long time since I had chamomile tea, and that sounds really lovely. So chamomile tea is my favorite tea when I'm sick or when my throat is sore, neither of which is happening right now, but I'm so excited for this. Throughout the day, I check off the things on my to-do list because I can check it off and then look at what else is on my planner, and it really helps me. And a lot of you guys may wonder what I do throughout my day, since I live a pretty unconventional life. And I think a lot of people also assume I don't work, or that the majority of my life just looks like this. Like I'm reading and I'm drinking tea and I'm working out. I mean, I try to be really real with you guys. It's impossible to give like the full reality of life on the road and life in general, because when there are bad moments, it is really hard. Even though I do try to pick up the camera or at least tell stories of the bad moments, it is hard to. And so I think every video online honestly gives an unrealistic expectation of someone's life, because my life is not just drinking tea and working out. Unfortunately, that would be amazing. My mornings look like that sometimes, and sometimes they don't look like that, and sometimes I sleep in and I get straight to work, or I scroll the first thing when I wake up, which I really try not to do, and Tori absolutely hates it when I do that. What I do for the majority of my days, honestly, is edit my YouTube videos. It takes quite a while to edit them, especially some of the longer videos, and it's very tedious work, but I'm really passionate about it. I still love it, even though it's just me sitting in front of my computer. It is my passion, and it's a very creative job too, and it's been my dream for my whole life, so I will never not be grateful for that, even if there are some really long editing days.
She drove all day yesterday because I was editing a YouTube video. And guys, I literally stayed up till 4 a.m. editing it, and Tori helped so much pick up the slack. She even made dinner for us. She drove all day.
But yeah, that is probably what I'm gonna do all day, is just edit. And I'm really glad that I had this nice morning routine, and I did all of the things that I try to focus on in my morning, which is a nourishing meal, journaling and checking in with myself, meditation, movement. Those are all really important to me. And then learning about something is great too. Like reading in the morning is awesome, although that's a less frequent habit of mine. But whenever I have most of those elements in a morning, I notice my day just goes so much better. And I think having like mood trackers and habit trackers in my journal has really helped me just notice a pattern in my mood whenever I do implement some of those healthier habits into my life. So anyways, that was my morning routine. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys next week on Sunday. Actually, I forgot to tell you guys, next week is when I'm listing my van. So if any of you guys are interested in buying it, I will have the price, the details. I know I've been getting a lot of emails from you guys, but the listing is coming soon. It will be up on Sunday along with the final van tour after all the renovations I've done. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.